Hello and welcome to your science news update for February 4th, 2026. First up, we're looking at a major new study that's uncovered the hidden long-term health toll of wildfire smoke right across the United States. So let's get right to the headline number. Researchers from Yale and other top institutions are estimating that every single year, over 11,000 non-accidental deaths in the U.S. can be linked to long-term exposure to that fine particulate matter in wildfire smoke, the stuff they call PM 2.5. And this isn't just about respiratory problems, which is what you might expect. The study, which looked at a big chunk of data from 2007 all the way to 2020, found clear links between smoke exposure and deaths from a whole range of issues. We're talking cardiovascular disease, diabetes, mental disorders, and even chronic kidney disease. It's much broader than we thought. Now, what's really striking is that the study pinpointed a group that's especially vulnerable. It turns out adults aged 65 and over are hit significantly harder by this kind of air pollution. And this chart really drives that point home. Just look at the difference. The higher bar shows the mortality rate for folks 65 and up, and it's just way higher than for the younger group. And that's true no matter how concentrated the smoke is. And it gets even more complicated. The research also found that when you mix long-term smoke exposure with extreme heat, it's like a double whammy. The two things together actually aggravate the health risks, making the situation even more dangerous. Okay, let's switch gears now and head from the skies down into the deep ocean. Scientists have figured out a brand new way to study one of the most mysterious creatures on the planet. We're talking about beaked whales, and these guys are incredibly hard to study because, well, they spend almost their entire lives in the extreme deep, only coming up for a quick breath. This has left huge gaps in what we know about them, until now that is. So how did they crack the code? They're using a really clever non-invasive method called passive acoustics. Basically, it's a way of eavesdropping. They use underwater listening gear, hydrophones, to record the specific clicks these whales make to navigate and hunt. With this technique, they were able to track Gervais's beaked whales down in the Gulf of Mexico. As the whales sent out their echolocation clicks, the hydrophones picked them up, and the scientists used that data to build these amazing 3D maps of the whale's entire dive while it was hunting for food. And this is a really big deal. This research gives us the first ever detailed look at the deep diving behavior of a Gervais beaked whale anywhere in the world. It provides this incredible, unprecedented window into how they survive so far beneath the surface. All right, now for a few quick headlines from the world of health research. You might want to listen to this one. A huge study out of Sweden that followed almost 28,000 people for a quarter of a century found something pretty unexpected. For adults who don't have a genetic risk for Alzheimer's, eating more full-fat cheese was actually linked to a noticeably lower risk of dementia. Hey, if you're enjoying getting these science updates and finding them useful, it would be great if you could take a second to like this and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And finally today, let's talk about sleep. A lot of people use sound machines to help them drift off, right? Well, a new study is questioning whether they're actually effective, and it might be that a much simpler solution is better. So, the big question is, could your sound machine actually be making your sleep worse? To figure this out, researchers looked at how different sounds affect sleep quality, and what they found was pretty surprising. Okay, so here's the breakdown. They found that listening to continuous pink noise, one of those common sound machine settings, actually reduced the amount of REM sleep people got. But get this, simple old-fashioned earplugs did a better job of protecting that deep, restorative sleep, especially when dealing with annoying sounds like traffic noise. And that's a wrap on today's Science News Bulletin. We will have another update for you in 24 hours. Thanks for tuning in.